tutorial and share my screen so we can walk through this together. So the main purpose of this tutorial is to help you use the Find a Forester directory to your best advantage as a member of the Guild. On the Forest Stewards Guild's website homepage, there is a button near the top right for members. Go to the website and click on that For Members button, and you'll come to an account login screen. If you have already set up a username and password for your member login, you can go ahead and put that in now. If you forgot your password, or if you have never signed in to the membership portal before, you can click, I forgot my login name or password. You can put the email that is associated with your membership record into this box and click Send Recovery Email. This will prompt the system to send you an email to that address with a link that you can either recreate or recover your login credentials. So again, whether you've created one in the past or not, you can click on that Forgot My Password and get your information that way. You can also go to this Create Account and a pop-up will show up and you can enter the email right there as well. You do not need to fill out this registration. This will actually give you a new account in our system. So you are all set up with an account already. You just need to set up login credentials, which you can do from the email you are sent when you forgot your login or password. So everybody can click on that in order to recover your credentials to get in. So I'll put in my information. And once you're in the portal, you will see this page. And from here, you can do a lot of stuff in your own membership record, and you can set up your Find a Forestry profile, Find a Forester directory profile. So I'm gonna start with just one important piece of information you can get from this main page, which is you'll see my name at the top. Right under that, my membership is currently active. If you are ever wondering whether you've renewed for the current term or not, you can't recall, then you can come in here and it'll tell you if you're currently active or not. If you are not, this will say, you're not currently active, please renew. You can click on this link for details. This will tell me the type of membership I have, the membership season that I am in, or that my renewal is valid for. So I don't have to renew until June 30th of 2020. I do have the option to renew now if I want to, even though I'm current. And if I do that, then this will show June 30th of 2021 as my next time to renew. So you can renew at any time of year, but this is where you'll find out when your current membership expires. You can also set up auto renewal in here. If you do this, you'll click on this button, it'll ask for credit card information, and it will automatically charge you on that card for your current membership type on the date that you are no longer valid. So in this case, it would charge me on July 1st, 2020. If I happen to have renewed early last time, and this date right now is June 30th, 2021, and right now I'm sitting in December of 2019 and I wanted to set up auto renew, I can still set it up and it won't charge me until July 1st of 2021. So whenever your next renewal is due, that's when auto renew will start charging you. So you can set this up early if you like as well. So I just wanted to show you those details. It answers quite a few questions for folks about status of their membership. But we'll go straight now into Find a Forester directory, since that's what this tutorial is about. And then for those who want to listen on after that, we'll cover some of these other membership portal items. So if you click on Find a Forester directory, in here you'll see the directory come up. All of these people are in the directory because they have current memberships of either professional member or retired member. And these are all people who have not further instructed me to take them off of the membership list, or sorry, the Find a Forester directory. However, most of these people have not filled out this Find a Forester directory profile. So the only way you'd be able to search, for example, for Jim Abel is if you know his first name or last name up in these search terms. He has not filled out what state or province he serves or the services he provides, so you could not search for him on those search terms if you didn't know his name and you were just looking for people who serve Alabama, for example. He might serve Alabama, but he wouldn't come up in search results because he hasn't filled out that part of his profile. So what we're doing now is setting you up to be able to fully be searched in the directory. And then when you are searched, people can get full details about your listing. If you go to a details here in the listing, I'll show you how Jim, his information is in here because he's renewed, but his services provided, education training, philosophical approach, and the state and provinces served are not filled out. So nobody would be able to search him on those criteria. But let's go back and look at this link here. This doesn't look like a link, but it is. You can go ahead and click on it to update your profile in the Find a Forester directory. The first option is going to be opting in or out of the directory. So you can be a current member and not show up in the Find a Forester directory online if you wish, but you need to opt out. I want to be shown in the directory, so I'm going to leave this as yes. If I'd like to include a photo, I can do that. I need to upload it in my regular membership profile, which I will show you in a little bit. But if you'd like the photo that you upload in your membership profile to also show up in your Find a Forester directory listing, you can click yes here. If you don't care to have a photo, you can say no. All of this information about your name, contact information is available to put in your listing, as much or as little as you'd like. Services provided, I have clicked those that apply to me. You can click those that apply to you. So if you're a consulting forester, for example, you would click there. If you work in wildlife management, or if none of these or more than what's listed here applies to you, you can hit other as well. For education, training, certs, and other background information, this is just information you can make available in your Find a Forester directory listing if you'd like people who are searching that directory to know more about your background. It's completely optional. You don't have to include this, but if you'd like, you can. Same with the philosophical approach to your work. This gives people a little bit better sense where you're coming from, and you can fill out as much or as little as you'd like in that section as well. States and provinces served. I work nationwide in communications, so I have checked them all. There is no box to check all of them automatically, so if you do serve all states, you need to individually check each one. But go ahead and check those that apply to you. And then when somebody searches for listings for people who serve Delaware, for example, If Delaware is the only or one of many states you have checked, you will show up in those search results. I'm going to hit submit, and my profile will be updated. So that is how you update your Find a Forester directory profile. For other membership portal options on this membership portal, I will show you first updating my profile. So this is not Find a Forester directory, that's down here. This is information in your actual membership record. So if I want to update my profile in here and I change my address, that's also going to change in my membership record. If I put in a new primary email address or secondary email address, phone numbers for which I can choose the type, that would change in my membership record as well. So that'll affect how I communicate with you as communications coordinator for the Guild. You'll also have in your membership profile options to check for regions of interest. What this means is, for example, sometimes I send event emails for an event that's happening in the Lake States or that's specifically happening in the Pacific Northwest. If you would like to receive emails that are related to a specific region, you can click that region. Generally, you will always get emails that are for the region that your primary address lands in. So I'm going to get Lake States emails anyway because I live in Madison, Wisconsin. But if I also wanted to see California, I would click this, and then when Colleen, I am running reports to send emails on certain events or certain region information, you'll be sure to get that email as well, even though you don't live near California. So click the regions you have interest in hearing information about. And then this also helps me a lot as well with regard to what I send you in the mail. So 2 times a year, we send out a Forest Steward magazine in the mail. And once towards the end of the year, we send out a printed annual review. If you want these in the mail and you want the hard copy printed versions, you would say, no, I do not want to go paperless for Forest Steward and annual review. However, if you are fine just reading these publications as PDFs on our website, which is available on our website, then you can say, I'll go paperless for these publications, and then the Guild will not print a copy for you and mail it to you. We will just assume that you will go to the website, to magazine, where those are posted. You can also choose to go paperless for donation and renewal acknowledgements. So every time you donate or renew your membership, you will get an email when that transaction is complete that acknowledges the transaction. It serves as your electronic receipt. If you would, in addition to that, like a paper acknowledgement letter, you do not want to go paperless, and you'll say, no paperless for donation and renewal acknowledgements because I want that letter in the mail. But if the email is sufficient, you can hit paperless and I won't follow up with that hard copy letter. Completely up to you on these, but it helps me manage communications on your membership a little bit more appropriately. My profile's been updated. I also want to show you on the profile, I missed this part, that here's where you can upload that photo. So if you click upload a photo, you can browse on your computer for the file, hit submit, it'll upload, and then what happens is it waits for my review, and I need to accept that photo. That happens in one way to protect us from spamming and things like that, but also so I can make sure resolution is good and the way the system might crop your photo is good. to fit in the space, just making sure it shows up appropriately in your profile. So if you upload a new photo, and in the Find a Forester directory profile where we were looking at, do you want to include your photo or not? If you say yes, that's the photo that will go in your directory listing as well. So then other things you can do in this membership portal, you can get information about your membership, your history. Here's my current one. This is kind of just a dummy account for me, and my history as well. You can see the transaction details. It was me as a professional member. I renewed on this date, the fee, and you can see my information from my professional member application way back when I started. You won't all see this if you have been a member for long enough. This information won't necessarily show up for you in this details section, but that's okay. We have it. So that's your membership history information. You can also look at donations history, your first, your last, and your donation total. And you can also set up a recurring donation here. So again, this would ask you to send, to fill in your credit card information and then set a calendar that you would like for the system to automatically charge a donation to that credit card account. You can also look at your event registrations. Again, a W account for me, but these are events and their brief description, the date of the event, how much you paid when you registered. This is if the transaction has succeeded or not. If you choose to register for an event online but pay by check in the mail, this status will be pending until we process your payment. So if you registered online for an event, sent in a check, and a week later you're wondering what the status is, maybe you haven't seen that transaction acknowledgement email yet, you can log into your portal, go to my event registrations, and see what the status is. If it's succeeded, you are all set. If it's pending, we're still waiting for something, probably payment. Attended, we don't really track attendance in this system. We do it at the event itself, so you won't usually see anything in that column. And again, if you want to look at the transaction detail, I can see that I registered on this date, that I chose a vegetarian diet, the rate I paid for the event, and so forth. We've covered the membership directory, or sorry, the membership profile, the Find a Forester directory. You can also manage your addresses from this portal. Again, this will also impact your membership record. So this is the address that will show up in my profile because it's the only address I have. But you can enter a new one, put it in there, choose the type. Maybe I want to add a work address. I can put that in there. And that'll add that address to your membership record as well on the back end. So this isn't going to let me submit a nothing address, so I'm just going to back out. But once you have two addresses in there, it'll also ask you, or it'll tell you which one you have listed as the primary address, and you'll have an opportunity to change that if you want. If you have a different shipping address from the address that's up here, you can also add that in. But if you don't have, it'll just make your primary address your default shipping address. So if you wanted to add more addresses in here, you can, rather than emailing me and asking me to add them for you, although I'm happy to do that if you like. You can set up new login credentials or change your password. That's fairly straightforward. This one is for resubscribing to email. So right now we have two email lists available. Our e-news ATL Across the Landscape comes out once a month, and an After Wildfire newsletter. We will be adding more in the future, but right now these are your options. You can click if you'd like to receive these. Right now, all current members receive the ATL anyway, but you can click to receive it, click to receive any others that show up in here as we update these options and hit subscribe. If you are already subscribed, it'll show you that right here when you click on this page. Sometimes people opt out of an email. On every email that we send from the Guild, there is an opt-out button. And some people will opt out of one email, and that's because they don't want emails of that type. But if you opt out, you will cause us to not be able to email anything to you at that same email address. So it is by address and not by type of email you're getting. So for example, if you opt out of across the landscape, you likely won't get event promotions and things either for your region. So if you accidentally did that, or did that with different intent than the results you got, you can come into your member portal and resubscribe. You can also subscribe for these different options from the Forest Stewards Guild webpage. So that is pretty much the tour of the membership portal. If you ever have technical difficulties or concerns either getting into this area or using anything within this area, please always feel free to email me at membership@forestguild.org or call me 608-395-4724 and I can help you troubleshoot. We do want to make sure that everybody who wants to use this is able to do so easily, so we're happy to answer your questions. It's also important for members to know it's not mandatory, so you don't have to feel like this is something you have to do in order to maintain a membership with the Guild. I appreciate you tuning in to this recording, and again, if you have questions or concerns, please let us know.